Hello, everyone. Welcome to Christopher's Entertainment Blog. I am your host, Chris. Welcome back to another video for The Flash Season 1. This is episode 20. It is entitled The Trap. And coming down to the final, we got 3 left now after this. These final episodes, I think, have been great. This episode was awesome. I loved it. I really, really loved it. The whole plan, this whole plan that Barry, Cisco, Caitlin, Eddie, Joe, I mean, they all think that they're going to get to the bottom of who this Dr. Wells is. They know he's not Dr. Wells. They think that they're one step ahead of this guy here, and it turns out that he's the one that's a step ahead of them this whole time, that he's been watching them the whole time, every move they make, everything they do, that he's got surveillance on everything. That whole reveal, I did not see coming. The whole trap, when they trapped him in, or he went through the, what was that, the whole tachyon, was that the tachyon beam? I'm not sure what that beam was. The containment field. Yeah, the polarity containment field thing that he walked through, and then they shoot him. I'm like, oh well, I mean, what's up, And it turns out it's the Everyman, what was the guy's name? I forget his name. It was oh my gosh. Let's see, Hannibal Bates. That's who it was. Hannibal Bates. It was Hannibal Bates that looked like him. So I mean, he was working with he was working with Hannibal Bates because he knew everything that was going to go down. He was one step ahead of everybody. I mean, it just goes to say, well, who else is he working with that they've been capturing? What other villains or rogues that they've captured has he been working with or is going to work with? Because he's a step ahead of everybody. So, Eobard Thawne, the Dr. Wells, Eobard Thawne character, he's a badass. He's really awesome. I mean, even though he's a horrible person, he's really awesome. He's a badass character, and he doesn't care. I mean, they're trying to get the confession from him that he killed Barry's mother, and he was just like, well, it wasn't my concern. I mean, my thought was that they were already dead anyway. So, I mean, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about anybody. I mean, he showed that in the past with killing the real Dr. Wells' wife and then Dr. Wells. I mean, he doesn't care. I mean, to him, these people are long dead anyway. It's a very psychopath type of, thought process that, hey, you're living in like a time where people are already dead anyway, so what do I care? I mean, I'm from a time where these people were gone. Even though he's living in that time period, they're very much alive. It's very creepy. Very creepy. And the character's very, I mean, he doesn't care. I mean, he's a psychopath. He really is. And you see in those flashbacks, where you see the flashbacks from before the beginning of the season when Barry was hit by the lightning and he was in the hospital and he was dying, and Joe makes a decision to give him to Dr. Wells, and you see that Joe was struggling with that. He never trusted him. He did at that moment, but he said it was a mistake. And you see where Barry is in the what is the name of the building again? I can't remember the name of the building. But he's there, in the bed, and Dr. Wells is just like, I can kill you like so easily, and he wanted to kill him right there. But it was ironic that the man he wants to kill, he's got to save so he can get back to his own time. So very ironic there. But yeah, I mean, those scenes were very creepy. And then, hovering over Barry saying, Barry Allen, you will die, eventually. He doesn't care, all this time that he's got to know Barry and met everybody and he's seen him grow up, and he does not care. He only knows what he will become and what they will go through in the future. So Very, very awesome episode, guys. I mean, we also seen the beginning of the episode where it leaves off from the last episode, where they're in the secret room of Eobard Thawne, and they talk to Gideon. They finally get to meet Gideon, and she reveals that, hey, Barry created me, and he finds out that it's from the year 2024. And he also sees that the article was written by Iris, and her name at the end is Iris West Allen. So there you go. A lot of stuff is revealed there. I think Gideon, there was a moment where Gideon was going to say, you're the founding member of, and then she got cut off. I think she was going to say the Justice League. I really do. And you see in the little article, if you ever go back to the episode and pause it there, it'll say that something about, the Flash disappeared, and he was, the team that was with him was Green Arrow. It says Green Arrow. It doesn't say Arrow. It says Green Arrow. So it says Green Arrow. Who was the other ones? There was a couple others. I can't remember. Oh, the Atom was another one. So that's saying something. And I can't remember the other name. There was another name, but then the last one was Hawk Girl. So, what does that mean? I mean, does that mean that, we're getting a Green Arrow on that other side of the Arrowverse? Are we getting a Hawk Girl at some point? I mean, that's very interesting that they would have that written down. So, I mean, very interesting, cool stuff happening with this show. Dr. Wells one step ahead of everybody. This episode was intense. I really loved it. We also got to see that Eddie was going to propose to Iris. Joe says no. But, it's just like, well, I mean, it's not really up to Joe. But, I mean, I can see where he's coming from, that he knows that he's not really right for her or vice versa. But, you see it at the end. He was going to do that, and the Reverse Flash comes in, steals or kidnaps Eddie. The Flash comes in, and when he leaves, that spark shocks Iris, and you see in the flashback that same shock happened in the flashback where she was confessing that she needs him and everything, and that same shock, and she knew at that moment that was Barry. She was shocked herself, that she knew that that's Barry, and I think she knows. I think she knows that that's him. I think she might toy around and maybe not try to reveal that, because maybe she is having a hard time believing that it's the truth. But we're going to get around to that. It should be cool. I mean, we got 3 episodes left, so anything can happen. But the whole Eobard Thawne character is a badass, dude. He's a badass. And then we see he kidnaps Eddie, and that whole scene where he reveals who he is. He's Eobard Thawne, and that he's like a relative of Eddie and this and that. I think that's setting up the whole Eddie thing. To maybe take over or something, or maybe take up that mantle, or push him into that direction. Some hate towards the Flash and Barry Allen. I mean, it's got to happen. So, I mean, I can't get over this episode. I mean, Barry also revealed to everybody that he's been through time, and he reset time, and he's went back in time a couple weeks or whatever. So it's crazy. Everything's crazy. We see Cisco going to sleep and seeing that whole dream sequence was awesome. Even though the Eobard Thawne was, he was ahead of everybody. It was just insane. It's insane, guys. I love this episode. I thought it was awesome. And I can't wait. I can't wait for the last 3. The whole Gideon situation thing. I mean, what is that going to be now for the future of this team? Is Dr. Wells gone? now, I mean, he's gone. I mean, he can't, come back, to, see Gideon or do any of that. I mean, um, it's just insane the amount of like mind blown that's my mind is getting blown up by everything that's happened. But I mean, that means that Barry and Cisco and everything has that knowledge from Gideon now. I mean, you would think. So, and the name Star Labs. I can't remember. I was like forgetting Star Labs for a minute there. But yeah, I mean, is Dr. Wells going to be able to sneak in Star Labs? I mean, how are they going to what's the whole Gideon thing going on? I mean, I wouldn't think that he would come back there. You would think that the Flash now has the whole database of Gideon at his disposal now, which is awesome. I mean, it could probably help him with pretty much anything, more than Dr. Wells probably could have. But it should be interesting how they proceed. One thing that has like been on my mind though is about the past, the whole past thing. Even though I'm running overtime, guys, I apologize. But one real quick thing is that in the past, the whole thing is that you find out that in 2024, this is what I think it is. 2024, Eobard Thawne goes back in time to kill the young Barry Allen from ever becoming the Flash. So he's going to kill him as a child. So that means the Flash goes back in time as well to stop him. That's 2024. That's what that article is. And when he gets there, there's that fight in the house. Barry stops him from killing him as the young child. So instead of getting, Eobard Thawne killing the young Barry Allen, instead he kills his mother, which is just crazy. He kills his mother, I think, just for spite or whatever. And then in that case, then he also gets stuck there in the past. He can't go back. But my question is, what happened to the futuristic Flash? I mean, I don't think I remember them ever saying, what happened to that futuristic Flash? I mean, he went back in time. They had that fight. And then that was it. It's just like, well, where did he go? Where did the old Flash go? Where did the futuristic Flash go? I mean, is he stuck in the past as well, or did he go back to the future? I mean, that's one thing that it's on my mind that I keep trying to understand. It's like, well, why didn't he stop this Eobard Thawne if he's still around? Why didn't he go back a little further in time to protect his mother or whatever? I mean, I don't know. There's still some questions or loopholes there. I don't know. I hope that we find out. I really do hope we find out here. But yeah, guys, I'm over time. Apologize. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Awesome episode. Please write in the comments below what you thought of this episode. Also, like and subscribe. I do appreciate that support. But that will do it for me for this another week, guys. We got 3 episodes left, coming down to the end. Yeah, guys, that'll do it for me. I will catch you next week. I am Chris for Christopher's Entertainment Blog. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy.